نصلي على رسولنا الكريم الحمد لله رب العالمين رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي امري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. I declare that there is no God but Allah, and Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is his servant and messenger. Brothers and sisters, Islam is the final religion of Allah Almighty. Its book, the Quran, is its final revelation. Its messenger, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, is the seal of all prophets and messengers. Islam is a religion, a spiritual force, and a comprehensive way of life. It aims to produce a type of community that's described in its book as the best community that has been brought forward for all humanity. However, to attain this goal, there need to be certain modalities present. There needs to be a place where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is freely worshipped. There needs to be a place where the affairs of the communities can be handled and managed within the pleasures of Allah. There needs to be a place where the knowledge of the deen can be attained uncensored. This is exactly what ICNA Community Center of New Hyde Park aims to achieve on a daily basis. Why can I say that? Because I've been a member of ICNA Community Center for the past few years. ICNA Center is the center where I brought my young daughter for Islamic studies on the weekends. It is the center where I take my teenage son to attend young Muslim activities on the weekends. ICNA is the center where I myself have taken several workshops and even have attained my certification as the New York State Chaplain. My family and I have attended several social potluck events where we get to meet our Muslim neighbors, we have dinner together, we attend a halaqah. And at another time, ICNA Community Center came to our aid when another group that I worked with needed counseling performed and they didn't have space. ICNA Community Center stepped up and allowed me as a social worker space to provide counseling to struggling teenagers. And most recently, subhanAllah, I had the pleasure of teaching young Muslim girls the Quranic tafsir at ICNA Community Center. So as you can see, just from my own perspective, ICNA's Community Center provides a vast arena of services for all of us. Alhamdulillah, a great deal of good work is happening at this center. Though the intentions are good and the work is pure, the center still has some dire needs. There was one time in the summer when I was teaching and the air conditioning unit went down. I have to bring that up. And I remember it was pretty hot because we were upstairs and the girls, we had to put on 3 different fans upstairs. And they said it was too expensive at that point to fix the air conditioning unit. And it was very difficult for the girls to hear for me to teach because of 3 fans running. But inshallah, they said that the niyyah was to update this system. So the center does have some dire needs. Okay? It needs better furniture for its students. It needs better teaching equipment in order for us to teach. And as you heard, that it needs its heating and cooling systems updated. Okay? The community center is nothing but an empty shell without you and I participating in it. And if we truly believe in its importance, then the center should be a reflection of who we are. It should have the best equipment. It should have the best furniture. It should have the best aesthetics because that is the community that we are meant to be the best, as said by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And if you look at the example from the early stage of the Islamic message, especially during the Meccan era, we see a group of converted Muslims in Mecca that used to live amongst a sea of polytheists. Although they practiced their religion, I'm sure all of you are aware through history, all the other social norms, the authority belonged to the non-Muslims. The Muslims could not practice their deen openly in Mecca. When the Prophet ﷺ migrated to Medina, what is one of the first things that he did? He established what is, in other words, known as a community center. It wasn't just a masjid. It wasn't a place where people just came to pray and then went home. It was a community center. All the affairs of the Muslims were handled through that community center. And because of it, it signaled a great change in the character of the Muslim community. And this shows us that for the first time, when the Prophet ﷺ did this, the first time the Prophet and the Muslims felt free to practice Islam without any oppression. And this is a crystal clear indication of the far-reaching role that a community center plays on the development of character in our community. So brothers and sisters, when we choose to give our time, when we choose to give our effort, or we choose to give our money in the path of Allah, these are nothing but opportunities for us. Opportunities for us to fulfill the promise to our Creator. And that promise is the promise to live our lives in accordance with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The promise to propagate Islam to our friends, families, and neighbors. And the promise to serve and lead all of humanity in the best possible way. Tonight, I feel it's not about ICNA Community Center, but it's really about you and me. It's about the kind of neighborhood we want. It's about the world we want our families to grow up in. At the end of the day, it's not about what we have or what all of us has even accomplished. We may be professionals in our own right, and that's great. But what is it that we do with those accomplishments is what's going to matter. It's about who we have lifted up. It's about who we have helped make better. In the end, it's about what we have given back. So I'd like, inshallah, with Allah's will, that we should all avail this opportunity to better this community center that serves such a multi-purpose to all of us, and inshallah can help enhance the character of our youth as well. Jazakumullah khair. Subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifun wa salamun alal mursaleen walhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Assalamu alaikum.
ITV, Call of Peace, Save Humanity.